Yeah.
Yeah. June 1st, baby. Woo! Summer is finally here.
It is.
You guys remember when everybody was overly concerned about social distancing and COVID-19? Do you remember those days? I feel like everybody forgot about it.
COVID what?
COVID-19.
Oh.
I feel like everybody forgot.
Yeah.
The only reason we give a shit is because we got to worry about the gym, but I feel like everybody's right back to life,
Yeah.
man. Man, we
Yeah.
went on this hike yesterday and we were everywhere.
we were-
Ice cream. Everybody
Yes.
is just jam-packed.
No social distancing.
Back to normal. Thank God. I agree. That's the way it should be. Anyways, everybody, podcast number 54. Today we're going to be shooting the shit. Rick and RJ, we got a few things to talk about, but before we get started, let's talk about today's podcast sponsor. It's summertime. It's a great time to do some painting, especially on the outside. And our sponsor today is Inside Out Painting. Inside Out Painting brings 12 years experience to your interior or exterior painting project. We focus on top-notch surface preparation and friendly service. Here's what they can do for you. Interior and exterior painting, including stucco, cabinet prep, and paint, deck, and wood staining. Call 204-489-1361 for your free estimate. Those guys have been great sponsors, and we'd like to thank them for their continued support. And while we're talking about it, can you see this $1,000 over to my right on the end of the table?
Bling bling.
Who wants to win that? I know everybody does. $1,000 would be nice.
$1,000 cash is nice too.
Sure is.
Don't put it in the bank.
Don't.
Do not just go and spend it. That's what you got to do with
Invest
those guys.
it.
Yeah.
You spend it, I'll
Yeah.
invest it.
Invest it
Yeah.
in a new pair of pants.
Synoptic Heating and Cooling, Gale and Arc, our members over here at North, they've been incredible sponsors as well. So what we're doing is, as of June 1st, we're going to bring back the Referral Challenge sponsorship. We're going to tweak it just a little bit, but we had this all organized previous, so we're going to make it happen. Basically, if you are an active gold member for the month of June, you're already qualified. You've already got your ballot. And then, RJ, if you want to explain how the referral side of it's going to work.
Sure. So basically right now, everybody's itching to get back. We're going to do the first week where it's going to be those that currently have their memberships active, but people could take their membership off hold as of, I guess, the week after that, which would be June 15th. So they can have their membership activated as of June 14th, maybe jump in, do a couple virtual stuff, and then they can start booking in-person sessions. So by doing that, we're going to compile all those people. They automatically get entered into the spin wheel. Then if you have a friend, and this is the joys of the new normal for us, is that we're going to continue to run the virtual workouts, and your friend can do the virtual workouts. They can also join us at one of two locations for our outdoor workouts. How was the outdoor workout on last Saturday for you for West?
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. Yep.
So I think that should be a staple throughout summer. Get a tan, get fit.
People enjoyed it,
Yeah. And then so they get the virtual workouts. They're going to get the outdoor workouts, and then once we're at full capacity, they'll get the in-person workouts. And all anybody has to do, just send a name, best way we can contact them, and an email address to getfit@fitclub.fit. Once again, that's getfit@fitclub.fit.
And so remember, the onus is on them to send an email, and then once we have that email, then we give them the ballot.
Yeah, CC your friend and directly send it to us. This way they're not so shocked when we reach out to them and say, hey, we want to give you either the 14 days for free, or we have the $65 for your first 6 weeks on a membership.
Yep. All it takes,
Boom.
You get the ballot, you're on the spin wheel, and you could own all of these $100 bills at the end of the month. And we can all use a little bit extra money, right?
I think so.
I think so.
I mean, that's half CERB.
It is. It is right there. So moving forward, how can your company become part of our audience here? What can we do for you? So this is something that we've actually done for quite some time. We have referral sponsors booked up all the way till the end of this year. In fact, we've only got 8 months left of 2021. So there is a lot of value to this. People who do become sponsors always get supported, and it's a great way to market your company and make yourself Fit Club famous.
They get to set up when we get here, vendors booths.
You got it.
They get to meet actual live members. And the one thing that we do here at Fit Club Media is we humanize every sponsor. I mean, you just mentioned Gale and Arc, right? And when you do business, when you call somebody, like if I'm looking for, I've called multiple HVAC units. I don't know who I'm contacting, right? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just some guy that they're going to send and charge me whatever arm and a leg to come and do it. And are they going to do it right? I don't know. It doesn't matter because I don't know who they are. You actually get to meet the owners, and there's a lot that goes along with that.
Yeah.
I think it's super important.
And let's be honest, it's always nice to know the person that you're doing business with.
Yes.
I feel like we've gotten so accustomed to just calling the 1-800 number or going online and filling out a form.
Yeah.
And then somebody shows up or somebody maybe contacts you or you get some robot email that says, we'll be there at this day. Like, it's so impersonal.
Yeah.
So this is a great way for us to introduce you as the person behind the brand. And I promise you this, I want people get to know you. They will do business with you.
And I think as a business owner, you should step out of what you've already always been doing. Like, if you've never shot a video, I know you're nervous or whatever, but let's just shoot a video, get you out there, do it once. You can share it for the next 10 years, like to your kids, to your grandkids. And you see that was me doing that. And it's, I think it's super fun.
Yeah, and to elaborate on what he's saying is that when you do become a sponsor for the referral challenge, we shoot a video for you, like a real professional 4K edited video with music, and it's something that you can use on your social media. And if you aren't on social media, this is an opportunity for you to kind of kickstart that off there. Yeah. So that's something that we will also take care of as well. And speaking of which, our man Jerome.
Yo, what's up?
Guess who's going to be in our Saturday workout?
Oh,
that's a new staple.
Let me tell you guys something about Jerome.
Oh my God.
You guys want to have not only a great workout, but laugh. A
Oh,
good belly laugh.
Always dancing.
You got to watch.
He's always dancing.
You got to watch this man work out, and you got to listen to the things that he says. And then, yes, after that, wait until he busts out a little ditty for you. This guy used to be part of the what? The Backstreet Boys?
Nah,
What's the
Clockwisers. He was on Clockwisers.
The Clockwisers.
That's why I wore this jacket, to represent my man Jerome. Jerome.
Yeah, thanks.
So you legitimately were in a dance group, correct?
Yes, we are.
And where did you perform?
All around Winnipeg, brother.
Yeah, they were popular.
Yeah.
There was a time. So Kelly Miranda, right? You've performed at Pampanga.
Pampanga?
Yeah. Pampanga was the spot, but I guess Kelly is much younger than us.
Yeah.
And so that's where we used to always go. So there'd always be some type of dance performers. There'd be a little buffet, $10 to get in, DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like where we all went as teenagers.
Kelly, can we bring this back? This just sounds like something I would love to do all the time.
Social gathering.
Hey? That'd be great. Uh-oh, I lost my computer.
I want to give a shout out to Richard Powell. Richard Powell's online. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
What's up, Richard?
And of course, Kevin Zimmer. He probably wants to know how are things, Rick, since yesterday?
Specific to what?
Just general.
I'm doing great, brother.
Yeah.
I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Pal there, he's got a great story.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I still, that one was amazing. You guys could have did that like as a whole day series.
Yeah.
And man,
Richard Powell?
Yeah, it's really motivating me. I think, Rick, we got to do something like just either 1 day or 2 day seminar. We can teach guys how to take selfies.
Yeah, I know so much stuff.
Right?
So much stuff, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could offer, but you just got to put it in one place, one time, and you got to have the right people doing a little bit of speaking. This Richard Powell, he definitely crushed it. And I went to his YouTube channel.
Jacket looks good.
I went to the YouTube. Yeah, don't take that off. I went to his YouTube channel. He's got some really good content. It's just under his name, Richard Powell. He just got a podcast, and he's got some very interesting guests. Anyways, let's talk about some current issues.
Let's go.
This is going to be, we're not a political podcast, but we need to talk about this. Our opinions and our opinions only.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard the pivot in the media. We went from COVID-19 everything to the killing of George Floyd by a white police officer, Derek Chauvin. What I'm trying to say, the reason why I want to talk about is this. We're not going to get into the politics behind it, but if you haven't seen it, and I know everybody has, which is Derek Chauvin, the white police officer, after they arrested George Floyd. He was on the ground, he was handcuffed, and the officer put a knee in the back of his neck for 9 minutes. And over the course of that time, George Floyd was not resisting arrest. He was not even being disrespectful. He was simply saying things like, I can't breathe, get off of me. And even the people that were around that were videotaping, and you got to remember, it's all videotaped. We see everything from the minute one till right to the end, and then you see it. And he just didn't let up, man. You know what I mean? And I'm always the type that's going to be devil's advocate, two sides to every story. But in this situation, I feel like this officer really did a disservice to other police officers and really, really did a bad thing. And he has been arrested, or has been fired, him and his 3 cohorts, and he's also been arrested. So, let's see if the system works and what happens in the end. But why I wanted to bring this up is I already see a lot of people on social media, especially people I follow, saying that this has turned into a white-black thing. And it is 100% has not. Because any white person that I talk to is not justifying this action.
Yeah.
We don't like this any more than anybody else does. So
Right.
it's an unfortunate situation, and I do hope that this police officer pays dearly for the death of this guy. And this George Floyd guy seems like a pretty decent dude. You know, they're trying to pull up his history there. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
it just baffles me as to why. Like, what are you doing?
I know.
Get your knee off his neck.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, there's hundreds of people around you. Like, it clearly shows that there was a crowd around this
like
guy.
you're on video, close video, not grainy video, not
Yeah.
pixelated video,
Yeah,
not like
cameras are
maybe.
as good as like what Jerome's got set up nowadays. Like,
You
what
know.
are you doing?
It almost makes me think, what was this guy thinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. And I mean, it was he didn't even let off for like
Yeah.
a second. You know what I mean? That's what I find. Like at some point, you got to have a little compassion. You won the battle. He's in cuffs. He's got a knee on his neck. You're like, I guess let him breathe for a second.
Yeah,
You know, like
what? And the videos that
problem
I
here?
saw, I didn't see them all, but it just looked like he wasn't resisting.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, he was a big guy, but I didn't see him like, squirming and
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe he resisted prior to being cuffed. But once you're cuffed, that's when you're, 100%. That person's in your care now. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful how you do it. And now, of course, we have the protesters and we have the looters. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because the media is going to show how divided it is.
Okay.
But I spend like the people that I follow on social media, it's they pull a positive as opposed to the negative. And one of the nicest things that I've seen, and this is actually three things, but for the most part all the same, is how the white officer or police officers and the black protesters or any of the protesters have really come together. There's a lot of situations where they're like one in particular. There was a white police officer and a black protester, and the black protester had started to break down crying, and the police officer was consoling him. And they had a really nice conversation, a nice, pleasant back and forth, and all the people around it, they weren't baiting it, they weren't trying to make them fight. And I feel like, is that the narrative? Possibly, but we certainly don't see it. You know what I mean? Like CNN is never going to show that to us. And I really feel that it's important that somebody on some platform throw it out there and be like, you know what, at the end of the day, we are still humans and we do love each other. This just happens to be a shitty event that went down, you know?
So do you think that's a abuse of power, or is the guy truly racist? Or maybe a combination of both? Because I've heard of other cops, using excessive force on people, and just because the person is doing something wrong. I think when you get into that position, if somebody is we were talking about Richard, perfect example, right? And he clearly wasn't supposed to be squatting in that house. And when he went to go and try and reclaim his stuff and admitted that that was he was doing, the person just said, like, get the hell out of here before I handcuff you. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like when it comes to something like that, like an incident, is it that maybe that person was quick to judge that person and not understand the situation? So like in Richard's situation, they were quick to judge and saying, you're a bum, get out of here. They don't know that he has nothing left, right? Versus like, when let's say somebody goes to the store, right? Perfect example. Somebody goes to the supermarket, right? And they go and steal diapers, right? And then they try to run out, and the cop catches them, beats the crap out of them because they're stealing. But they're stealing because they're, and I'm not trying to justify stealing, but I'm also not, I don't condone anybody laying down the law like that. Like if you apprehend that person, you're well trained, right? It's just like bus drivers, cab drivers, they're more likely to get blamed in a car accident because they're on the road, they're trained. So I don't think that if Mike Tyson, if you were to walk up on Mike Tyson and he were to clock you, like he could probably go to jail for attempted murder because he's trained. So it's like you have all the training to be able to use the least amount of effort in your position to sustain that person.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's policy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's easy. Was he racist? I don't know if he's necessarily racist. Was he? Did he have the stereotype in his head? Probably. I mean, after many years of being a police officer, you probably get hardened to certain things. Was he intentionally trying to kill this man? I doubt it. I think it was just a lot of unfortunate circumstances. I do feel as though he was probably biased in some way, shape, or form, only because of the way I saw his eyes in the camera,
Yeah.
showing absolutely no empathy,
Yeah.
no remorse, no nothing. And
Yeah.
this man on the ground is actually speaking to you respectfully and saying,
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at that point, you would think that the humanity side of yourself would maybe kick
Yeah.
in. And then, of course, you had the three other police officers who were kind of protecting him, like protecting the scene.
Yeah, like what are you going to do if you're in that scenario,
Yeah.
right? Like we're all working together, and I'm not saying it's a cop thing or
Yeah.
a firefighter thing or a fit club thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be just, how do you like tell your buddy, hey, bro, like get off his
Exactly.
neck, man. Get off his neck, like right now.
So and that could be the optics, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that guy because somebody's on camera is going to be like, well, look, even your buddy was telling you to do it, and you didn't do
Or
anything.
your buddy's going to get mad. Don't talk to me about this.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
So there's lots of variables involved, and for the record, we certainly don't feel like this about police officers. I'm a big blue supporter, and they do a lot of good things, and they're in a shitty situation.
Tough
you know what I mean?
situation, yeah.
Especially when you have such a divided, and we'll just talk about the U.S. In Canada, it's not like doesn't seem to be like this at all. But in the U.S., it's very volatile. Like it just seems like anything can trigger riots, and that's one of the things that I'm actually bothered by is the there's a lot of peaceful protests, and like there should be. It's legal, no big deal. But then these looters, they come in there, and they're
What
just.
is the point of that?
What is the point of knocking out Target and stealing from them? What are you proving?
Especially the local guys. I was looking at this guy. I guess they sell classic shoes, and the looters went in there and just like took everything from there, right? And it's like, well, how does that prove any point, right? And there wasn't any type of race in there, right? I'm pretty sure there was mix, and but it's like
I saw white looters, I saw black looters, I had
Spanish,
lots,
whatever it does. But it's just like what, and I think that if somebody broke in here and smashed all of our stuff, like dude, that doesn't like help. Doesn't help your case with the government.
Not detrimental.
Right? Go to a government building then. Go to loot at a cop station.
Yeah,
right?
well,
like
they did. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they actually the police had to like what do you call it? Vacate? No, abandon their cop stations. I think it was even more than one. So they did do that.
Wow.
And I guess maybe that's where you really got to make noise and protest. But
just getting caught up in that mentality. Right?
Yeah, but why go after the small business owner or something like? What exactly? I mean, at that point, we know it's no longer a protest. Yeah. It's just an opportunistic situation, and they just want free runners out of the deal, right?
Yeah.
So, but okay. So, anyways, let's talk about something different, something more upbeat. Jesse and Jessalyn, Team Sweatband, they got a brand new baby.
That's right.
Did you see that?
I did. I saw the baby.
Yeah, she's
cute, super cute.
We shot a little video. It's a great story. It's and they've told her we've already shot the video, put it out there. So for 3 years they were trying to have a baby, and did in vitro. Do you understand in vitro? Do you know what that means?
They like put eggs,
the hormones,
eggs and hormones, basically trying to simulate it like being ovulating.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough. It's like the opposite of testosterone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like women, when they got to put that in them, it's like they're going through their period and menstruation cycles.
Yeah. That must really mess up a body when you start introducing.
Super emotional. And
yeah. So, anyways, over the lockdown, they, or I guess so previous to that, they put themselves on the adoption list because in vitro wasn't working, and lo and behold, on lockdown, they got the
She's
nod.
already been in a couple workouts.
She has. She already got her own sweatband.
She does, which was awesome. So let me ask. So Rick, you said that you grew up and you were in the Big Brother program.
I had a big brother. Yeah.
So, obviously that's not her parents. It's clear that doesn't look like them, so there's not going to be a confusion. So what was that like? Like, what do you think that experience is going to be like for this child growing up?
So to elaborate, so I had a big brother growing up, and then and that's through the Big Brothers Association. So at 18 years old, you kind of get capped off. He's still my big brother till the day.
You still talk to him?
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, not as much as I used to, but once a year, probably through Facebook.
Okay.
Anyways, so they adopted brother and sister, Aboriginal. And these kids went from being babies, and now they're into their 20s. And as far as how was it for them, I feel like it's no different than just raising your own kids. You know what I mean? They still were little shits when they were 6, and then they had their teenage years. But on the flip side of that, they were great kids, entrepreneurial, very good in school. I do remember there being a situation or a time when they started to question, like, who's my parents? You're not my parents. Like, you know what I mean? They go through that phase or whatever. But, at the end of the day, I mean, these kids are probably pushing into their late 20s now, and they're, they're good people, So
the words of advice I'd give to them is you would raise them exactly like they're your own.
Yeah.
Because
of
that
course.
is your kid now.
It is, yeah.
That's your kid now, so you don't give them slack because they're like, well, you're not my real mom. You're not my real dad. You know what I mean? Like if Jet or Kai said that to me, I'd be like, okay, there's the door. You know what I mean? If I'm not your dad, then I don't know where your dad is. You can go and find him outside. You know what I mean? I'm going to drop you off at Maine, okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to go and find your dad then if that's the case. But I think that, I don't know much about that experience, but I do watch This Is Us, and, they had an adopted son. I think that if that does come up, which it's going to come up, I'll tell you, I face that now, and Neri faces that now, and it hurts.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, so Jet will be in his car in the whatever, or like he'll be in his chair, right?
Okay.
And then I'll go around and I'll go to get him. I don't want you. I want mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean you want mommy? Let's go. No, he starts making us think. There, he wants you. You know what I mean? And so you kind of like you feel a little bit sad, right?
Sure.
Because he's just like, no, I want you. And you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do? You start thinking, but what did I do? Oh my God, what did, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day he wants daddy, right? And so they're gonna go through periods of where, you're just gonna face that, man. There's just gonna be times where they're gonna absolutely hate you, and like you think about the times you grew up and told your mom you hate her and wish you were dead, and you know what I mean, like this and that. I think all that passes, and it's gonna be part of the experience. Not every day is gonna wake up and it's gonna be sunshines and roses.
It's just unfortunate as a parent. Like, I'm not a parent, you are, to have your kids say, "I don't want you." You know what I mean? Like, they don't know that they're really digging you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, harsh.
But you can only hope that eventually it comes back to them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what I feel like parenting is one of those, like 40 years later, you finally get the thank you.
Well, you can't fire your kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, as much as you want to kick him out, you're not going to kick him out, right? Like,
No, I know. And I agree. Like, there's a lot of things that my mother did when I was young that it didn't even dawn on me or kick in until, I was in my 40s. Like, oh, that was a good thing she did for me, but I hated it back then.
Yes.
Totally hated it back then.
Yeah.
So we're going to be opening up the gym June 8th, which is next Monday. So today, guys, I was coaching in front of the camera. This is going to be my last class in this particular setup. We're still doing the virtual workouts. Well, let's update them on when we're opening, how we're opening. Let's update them on the virtual workouts as well.
Okay. So first of all, virtual workouts are still going to be a go. I'm going to bust my butt. So I'm going to be coaching the 8:30 to 11 slots. So I'm looking forward to all my sexy mommies coming back, right? Those house moms.
Mm-hmm.
And like my wife. And then this week we plan to tape everything off. So we're going to get painter's tape, and we're going to have probably 5 people. And then we're going to take a break with the row. 5 people break row, right? So there's going to be 3 or 4 rows here. Coach is going to have his own area. We're still going to have the Zoom set up. So the Zoom is going to be in the back wall because there isn't going to be people lining up for the next workout. Mm-hmm. Workouts are going to be 30, 35-ish minutes. So like the workout format is going to be similar. We're not going to really use any equipment for the first phase just because we just want to really get bodies back into the blue, get people accustomed to being around one another, and then we're going to increase the layers of complexity. So that's why we didn't just jump in, and it's not business as usual, right? Like, I mean, you're at really your half capacity, you're 6 feet apart. So we want to really see how it is, and we want to just see how people are responding. And this is going to be probably a all summer like transition of like moving it into different phases based around how we do it. Yeah. So we're going to look at the time. We already got the time slot. So first workout's going to be at 5:10 in the morning, or sorry, 5:15 in the morning. They're going to bang out every 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. So like I said, 35-minute workout. Then we need a 10-minute gap just to kind of like let the place air out. We'll sanitize the stations and then make sure that there's nobody in here before the next crew comes. Mm-hmm. And then the door is going to be locked 2 minutes prior. So if your workout's at 5:15 and you show up at 5:14, you're just not coming in. Yeah. Just like we're already starting the session because we're not even going to have a front desk staff here, because we want to be able to have that spot for a member, right?
That adds to the capacity.
That adds, right. Okay. And then we're not going to be doing any check-ins through the front desk. So the ownership is still going to be on the member to check in using a sweaty selfie or comment done below the workout, because there's still going to be so the workout the first week is going to be at 8:30 in the morning. That's going to be the virtual one. That's going to be available on Facebook for 24 hours or in the video library. And then we're still going to do the afternoon workout with me. I'm still going to give that to everybody.
The 215.
The 215, right? That's still going to be available to everybody. So you're still getting the 2 virtuals, plus you're going to get the in-person, plus we're still going to be doing the outdoors. So you're getting basically 4 opportunities to work out, right? So you don't have to come every single day. In fact, we would appreciate it if everybody just came 2 or 3 times a week for the first week. Let's try and get like everybody an opportunity to get in here at least once or twice.
Yeah.
And then as things start to be lifted, then we'll like open it up. So there's no doubles, right?
Right.
Like we can only get 15 people in here, right? And then as we can up that, then we'll make that adjustment. But again, guys, we're going at this now instead of day to day, how when we first started, it's now week to week, right? So, which is like an advancement, because before we were just like, okay, what do we got to do tomorrow? Okay, what's happening? Okay, so it's just what's the day after, right? And we were just planning day to day to day. Yeah. Now at least we're a week. I would even say now 2 weeks in advance. Then we'll be able to plan out a month. Then we'll be able to plan out quarterly, yearly, like. You know what I mean? So it's just going to take some time, and it's going to be 30 days in this first phase that this is just the way we're going to do it. So, don't get upset if something isn't exactly how you like it, or the way that things were. We're going to work with what we got, and we're going to make the best of it.
Yeah, and the rules that we're going to be following aren't our rules anymore.
Yeah, they're not our restrictions.
We have to follow it, and we're not interested in getting fines. So we can't be accommodating, because we're going to get fined big time.
And here's the thing too, is that so we have these self-screening questionnaires at the front. Like, you can't walk in unless you read it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if not, then the ownership is on you.
Yeah.
Right. I did order temperature guns back in April 1st. I looked on my app, on my Walmart order.
Good luck getting those.
They said that they were delivered. So I sent them a message
really?
today. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean it was delivered? I got my new fire extinguishers. I never got my temperature gun, and they charged me for it. So it's like, what the hell? So it's going to be like, do you have a temperature? Were you sick?
Yeah.
Like, were you sick? And did you quarantine for 2 weeks? Right? That's going to be one of the questions. Anybody around you sick, and have you quarantined since? Right? And it's like, if you feel ill, don't come in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, we'll continue to do the virtual, guys. Don't worry. We will get you in the best shape of your life. Yeah. It might not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen sooner and later. And that quarantine 19 or whatever everybody's kind of putting on, we'll make it go away. Don't worry. It's just a little temporary pain.
Yeah. And another thing, too, is there's going to be no cubbies. There's going to be no bathroom.
No cubbies.
Right? So pee first.
Come changed.
Yeah.
And here at North, they have the washrooms there.
Over by the no frills.
Yeah. So if you need to go to the washroom, go there. But we will have sanitization equipment. I get it. People start bouncing around. They got to pee.
Sure.
So it's there. You spray down basically any surfaces that you touch. And then when you come in, make sure you still have your 2 pairs of shoes. So for here, they'll leave their shoes outside in the cubbies and bring their indoor shoes onto the blue. We will know. There's only 15 of you, so we'll be able to tell who's been tracking.
And you're in one spot.
Yeah.
You
can have your water bottle there. We ask that it's only water. So like on the flooring, if we see that you got pre-workout or Mito, and then all of a sudden you spill something pink on the floor, we're going to know it was you.
So just water.
And then like into phase 2, we have quite a bit of dumbbells, but we would like to do some dumbbell work. So if our members have dumbbells, we can write your name on it, and then maybe we can just leave them here for a month until we can like start using the rest of our equipment, and then we can open up like dumbbell classes. But come changed. Wait in your car or in the hallway, since there's a hallway here. Wait in the car or your hallway until we're going to open up the doors 8 minutes prior to the session. 8 minutes prior. You don't need much time. There's no setup, nothing like that. Once the workout starts, it starts. It's not like how it was before. We'd be talking and stretching and announcements and all this and that. No, there won't be any really big demo for now.
Yeah.
And then have your water bottle near you, labeled. Bring your own stuff. If you want to bring your own gloves, masks, if you want to do all that, that's fine. But I'm not going to be wearing one, that's for sure. So
I got my hair cut wearing a mask, and I was bothered.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was sitting there.
I couldn't work out with it, man.
It's impossible.
When you guys don't have the fans on, I'm already dying.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how anybody can function wearing a mask. Like, it's something you definitely got to get used to, but what an uncomfortable thing to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Wow. So, again, just show up early. You know what I mean? Just be early and be prepared, because we're not going to be juggling anything last minute. It just can't be like
coming
that
from
anymore.
work, changing the car, put the blinds up or something.
Yeah. So...
more to come. That's just kind of like I got a whole game plan. And if you're looking for more information, either follow us through email, right? So email will be there. I'm also putting it on Instagram, so Fit Club North Winnipeg, and I'm putting it into the Fit Club North fan page. We're going to eventually merge all of those accounts. So the Fit Club West and Fit Club North are going to be merged into one big master account. This way we're just say it once versus saying it 10 times.
Yes.
So it's going to be just Fit Club Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And then same with the fan pages. We're going to eventually get rid of the West, get rid of the North, and combine them into one. Just make it North. I love that. Like now that we've got one group, like do you pay attention in the group?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
I got to know so many more people. Like
I'll be honest. We had so many different things going on that it was almost overwhelming, and it was probably detrimental. I didn't even want to participate because you don't know where to participate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I getting the right information here? Am I supposed to pay attention over there? I firmly.
between when you had the two.
Yes.
Right.
With everything that's different, right? And then, of course, some people aren't Facebook savvy. So then, we're asking them to do all of this, but we're like, oh, by the way, there's 17 different chats you would need to be part of or whatever. I'm just exaggerating. And then you overwhelm people, and you don't want to do that, right? So, again, one of the good things that came out of this is we're going to run things a little more efficiently as well.
Big time.
Our podcast.
Are
we going to keep this going, RJ, or what?
I don't know. Viewers, should we keep the podcast going? Comment yes or no. This is it. The Rick line is coming. we need to know. Or should we keep running it or not?
So this is our 54th podcast.
Yes.
So RJ and I started off doing 7 days a week. It went down to 5 days a week.
I find it easy to podcast.
Podcasting is awesome. I really do.
You could really tell what you can do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hey, this is me, Rick, and bring a guest in and talk. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and we've actually built a really good following, and I want to thank everybody who pays attention to what we do here.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a video the other day, got over 5,000 views, and I remember our very first one. We were excited when we got 60 views or something like that. So it's grown, man. I mean, less than 2 months, 50 podcasts. That's it's great.
I feel like a veteran almost because I listen to a lot of podcasts now. I'm actually interested.
Yeah.
And
I know I was going to call.
I think we're pretty good.
I was going to call Joe Rogan the other day. Be like, here's 10 things you can do better, Joe Rogan.
We're the experts. That's like me reaching out to Sean T.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean T, get at me, bro.
Yeah.
I keep trying to get at this guy. Come on, give me some tips, man.
You know that.
Actually, I reached out to Beachbody.
Oh yeah.
And I said, what does it take to be a super trainer? I said that. I said, what does it take to be a super trainer? How do I get put on this mountain?
Yeah.
Because I'm interested.
And.
No response.
No reply?
Yet. No. I'd like to know what that takes.
Yeah.
Do I have to teach Beachbody? Is that what it is?
I don't know, but I'll tell you the future of entertainment is podcasting.
Yeah.
Or vodcasting. That's actually what we do. It's podcast, a video podcast.
Okay.
And did you know that Joe Rogan signed a $100 million deal with Spotify?
I saw that, yeah.
So that means that Spotify has now purchased all of his content, taken him off of YouTube. And one of the reasons why is censorship. Joe Rogan, he's an opinionated man, and he's finding a little too much blowback on some of his things. Yeah. And he's not ultra controversial. He's just a very logical individual. Okay. And he doesn't stay on the left side or the right side. He's very much in the middle, kind of like how we would be. Okay. But he's just had enough. And, when you're the man who gets, Elon Musk and Kevin Hart, and you get all of these, The Rock. Actually, no, The Rock, that's a lie. Rock hasn't been on there yet. But when you're getting the biggest names in the world onto your podcast, you kind of have a little bit of say.
We got to get our way up there.
That's the way. Spotify. Yeah. And
we're probably more of the local.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's what we want to be.
Worldwide, and I like being local. That's why I want to know who's some local celebrities. So first of all, everybody's saying, love the podcast. Jen Mancher voted twice. Thank you, Jen. And
no bias there.
No bias there at all. Yeah. But I'd like to know who's some local people that our viewers like to get on this podcast. I mean, we always bring in a member. We brought in this week. We're going to be going to Body Measure, which is like another local business where they measure your body, and apparently it's a whole process.
Yeah.
Like I thought you just go there, you stand on the scale. I think we did one over at ARX before. It takes 2 minutes, but I looked at it, and it's a whole process.
Okay.
It's like an all-day thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
So we're going to set up the podcast on site.
We're going to set up the podcast on site. We'll do the podcast. And then after that, I'm going to do my whole like body thing and just see if that's something like of value to the Fit Fam. Jerome's going to film it. And then, I better start eating better. Right.
So what is the intention of the outcome? You're looking for what results? What is it going to tell you?
You know what? I think it's an advanced, like we have our scale that we have right now is if you were to rate it from 1 to 5 is a 2.
Okay.
Right. So like it's better than your at-home scale. It's better than the handheld. It's better than the foot alone because it's got the foot and the hand, and it's a name brand that's been around for decades. Now the layer above that is just doing a fit 3D scan, and a lot of businesses will get that, and you stand on this thing, and then it just like does a circumference, and it gives you a better analysis of like your body fat and where your body fat is being distributed. And then I guess like I know when I did it in university, the underwater was the best.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Buoyancy, yeah. It's hard to do though because like you got to keep your eyes closed. They put you in a little. It's like literally what are those like a well?
Yeah.
You're in a well, man, right? With cold water, and they're like, hey, when you get underwater, breathe out all your air and hold for as long as you can. So you're like,
yeah. Not many people are doing this.
like in a closed environment, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like the next layer, and then the layer above that is doing blood work and taking parts of your muscle and all that kind of stuff, right? So they would sit closer to like a 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere around there. So
Okay.
I don't know. I honestly don't know a whole lot about it, but I watched a little commercial they made, and it looked like a whole in-depth thing. Like you bring this breathing apparatus. I don't know. We'll see.
So ultimately, you're still trying to get the body fat, the muscle mass. Like this is what we're trying to find, right?
Yeah.
We're not going into your bones and stuff.
No, I don't know. Who knows? I guess we'll see. I mean, it's not cheap, right? It's about $140 to get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, the scales are about $200, right? So it's like to go there and to create a business around it, it's got to be pretty advanced.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the guests that we're going to be bringing on is Benton. And we're going to try and lock him down for Friday if we can. We had to cancel on him because we had a little technical difficulty last time, but we're going to get it. And
we
one
had
of the reasons,
arm issue. Hey, good news about that, though. So for those that don't know, Jerome wasn't here. Had to plug up the Zoom and just makeshift, whatever. Go old school with it.
Yeah.
Jerome is COVID-free.
Yay!
So he went and got the test. He got the Jerome, how'd you feel about that test?
Tell about that test, Jerome.
So how long was the thing?
Oh well, the tingling part takes about 20 seconds, to go away. But it's good. It's good.
No,
it's
but
good
what do
feeling.
they do? They take was it a
it's
Q-tip?
Yeah, like a Q-tip, like a long swab.
Okay. How long?
How? I don't know, man. Like about 5 inches.
5 inches. Okay.
That's huge.
It goes all the way up your nose, all the way down to your throat.
Okay.
So you feel that like swabbing. Tingling swab on your.
Did they put any lube on it or no? No lube.
No, man.
So it's like a Q-tip that goes in your nose,
very thin
into the back of your throat, and down.
So this thing bends,
It
obviously.
bends, obviously.
So it
inside
goes
your
in.
nose. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
I
getting,
said to
Would you rather have that, or would you have the old finger in the butt?
that's a good question. I don't know the answer right off the bat. I don't know. I might go for the finger in the butt, to be perfectly honest. Just the idea of something going into your face and then down into your throat. You know what I mean? Like it's making a turn. I think it's not just going straight in, it's turning into your.
Okay, I just want you to
crevices
relax.
Anyways, well, glad to hear you're healthy and good to go there, Jerome.
Thank you, guys.
But anyways, what I was getting at over there with.
But he didn't go for COVID testing, FYI.
No, he was there
people
for
don't
something
get all
else.
scared to be around Jerome.
Yeah.
He was there for something else. It wasn't anything big. So
Yeah, he's all good.
he's all good.
So, Jerome, stay on the mic for this because I want everybody to know you were telling me that. So Benson had to cancel his wedding,
Oh,
and one of the things
I was
that we're
wondering about weddings, man. Like
that's the
right
thing.
now is wedding. It's May, dude. It's June.
Like people should
May-
need to be getting
May
married
is
now.
wedding. Like
Yeah.
wedding season starts in May.
But everything's canceled. So how do we solve that problem, Jerome?
Oh,
What do you think we could do to help people who are getting married? And what's going to be the new wedding normal?
well, we don't know yet, but I think what we could do, we could help people do a live videos for them.
So picture this.
Right.
You got Jerome. You got just like how we're set up here,
Yeah.
right? You got all the cameras. You have a command center, and then you have the wedding going on, but you're just televising it on Zoom.
That's what my cousin did.
That's a great idea.
No, my cousin got married last week.
Yeah.
Didn't even know, really. Well, he sent me a Zoom link, and honestly, it just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
And so I missed it. But that's what they did is they filmed it on Zoom at Winnipeg Beach.
And you know what? Have commentators. Have you and me sitting at a table commentating the whole wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look how great she looks. Talk about her
And
wedding dress.
So this is what it is. The new normal, guys, I'm telling you, if you get a chance, go and get married in Mexico.
Agreed.
Right? Do it. Just your family can be there on Zoom, man. You can arrange a banquet hall, right? Get a nice TV, hire a guy like Jerome. He'll set it up. He'll put speakers. He'll make it nice, right? And then he can have the camera set up on the audience. You guys all get dressed up. They'll get it catered, but they do it in Mexico.
Yep. I agree.
You know, all those people that don't want to travel, all the people that can't afford it, then you'll have a ceremony. They won't actually be there.
Yeah.
They'll be in Mexico.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And then you just have 2 videographers.
Yeah, and both of us got married in Mexico.
Yes, I would highly recommend.
I would never want to do it any different than what we did.
Even right now, if I was set to get married, I would either postpone it till I can go to Mexico, or I would just go to Mexico.
Yeah, no.
Can you imagine going right now? How the treatment you'd get?
Oh, you'd get everything.
There'd be nobody there. You'd have your crew of 20 or whatever it is, and
you get the best rooms.
Oh, man.
You get the best everything. They just upgrade you to everything.
Big time. You get all platinums, right?
Yeah. So Jerome, we'll end the podcast with this. Let's tell people how we can they can hire you for their wedding. What you were
let's not get Jerome any weddings.
No.
I don't want to give this guy any more weddings.
Okay.
But it's still, what we could do, we could do a broadcast lives on your Facebook, on your friends, and stuff like that. We could professionally do this as like what we do in a podcast.
You got it.
So that could be a Fit Clip Media thing, Rick. You can be the director.
Right? We're gonna commentate this thing.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll sit here. Oh, look at the dress.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
that's an amazing dress.
What do you call it when when all these actors they roll on the red carpet? What event is that? Like the Oscars or something?
Yeah.
And they have panels of people talking about fashion, dresses.
That's what you need. We'll set up. We'll rent out the blue.
We'll
rent out the blue. We'll stage it.
You bet.
We can stage it with nice lighting.
Yeah, because they'll have a small group of people. I mean, you could still do it. You can still have your 50 or less person.
Well, they can go outside.
They can go outside.
They can do it all outside. We can go outside. The only problem with outside in Winnipeg, even when I was in Mexico, it was windy.
Yeah,
it looked perfect, right? It was, oh man, perfect day. It was windy. My hair, we can even see half our photos were like
I know.
Right? If you look at all of our photos, we're just...
I know, with the sand blowing through your eyeballs. Yeah, I know.
You're wondering why, look at those waves in the background. Yeah, waves don't happen out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's because it's so windy.
In theory, a beach wedding, beautiful.
Yeah.
In reality, sucks.
Well, I remember
the logistics behind it.
I remember they didn't have an actual floor for us, right? So they just had a carpet, a red carpet laid out on sand, or a white carpet on sand, but it's carpet on sand.
Yeah.
So every woman that was wearing a heel, there's...
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
big time.
Yeah, it was just like everybody was stumbling down the hall. It was funny.
Yeah, I feel like heels at a wedding or on a beach wedding.
No.
I don't think that's probably a good idea. So, anyways, we got it covered, man.
There we go.
Jerome, you ready to do this?
Let's
go. Got a new career as broadcast wedding people.
Let's do that.
All right, we're going to knock it out of here, guys. Do us a favor, like, comment, share the video. It helps us out greatly. You can go over to our YouTube channel. It's underneath Fit Club Media. And everybody have a great day. Dance it out, RJ. Let's do it, baby. Nice jacket, by the way. I love it. Way to represent.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.